This is the fun one. 2017 PGA Merchandise Show at the Titleist booth with Steve Pelisek. Our ratings were so high last year, we had to come back.
Thanks for coming back. We appreciate it.
Well, let's talk about important things first, 917 and what's going on there. That's fantastic.
It's very cool. Great driver, great 3-wood. Very excited. There's little things that happen, when you introduce a product, when you know you got a winner. And one of the things that we were so pleased with 917 was the adoption rate on tour. Happened so fast.
Yeah.
80% of our players within about 3 weeks. You like to get wins, but we can't totally control wins, so we don't count them too closely. But a bigger thing to us is just how quickly do guys put it in the bag, and that's when you know you got a winner. And it's a great driver. It's fast. But most folks want more ball speed, and if I can get more forgiveness while I'm getting more ball speed, I'll take it. And nice.
Well, you have that many players that quick. Has it ever been that fast before?
No, it's the fastest we've ever had. And again, little things happen. Jimmy goes and wins the PGA. I was there at the WGC event at Akron when we fit him to it. Right after that, he's in it and he's winning. Justin Thomas hits the longest drive on the PGA Tour at that event at Akron.
Yeah.
And you just think, wow, this thing's pretty good. You knew it. It's like your kids. You knew all along. I think this is really good. And then you let it go, and it let it go out, and it proves to be. So it's very cool. We're excited. This is the first big spring. The one thing I would add is please, it's a $500 driver. Get fit for it. Just take a minute. Go see somebody you trust who knows what they're doing. We go to great lengths to make sure that we got a network of fitters around the country who have good knowledge. They have good tools. Use them. Because there's a huge difference between off the rack and customized for what you need. That's why all that adjustability is there. Take advantage of it. The difference between 917 being a really good driver and being a great driver for you is you working with a good fitter who can tweak it and really extract every ounce of its potential out of it for you.
Let's talk about the rock star around the corner, Mr. Cameron. Let's talk about Scotty, what he has new coming out, because it's always exciting when this time of year comes around.
Cameron's fired up right now. Had a great year, and he loves this Futura project. He's got, basically the line is now 2 main families. Selects are his classics. It's the Newport family, really. And then Selects, he calls them wings and things at times.
The Futura, right? The Futura.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Futura.
Yeah, Futuras. That's his baby, where he gets to go play with high MOI. He doesn't have to be too concerned with whether the thing looks radical. That's what it is. That's his playground to go play in futuristic stuff. So he's got a new lineup of 7 new models. Very cool. All have been kind of tour tested. That's another one of his babies is I don't want to get ahead of the tour. I do want that tour validation. It's an important part of who he is and what his brand is all about. So encourage everybody. That's the family you migrate to. If you're a little bit maybe more forgiveness conscious, maybe a little bit more mechanical in your approach, a little more scientific in your approach, very high moment of inertia, big heads, long sight lines. It's a terrific lineup.
Well, the other rock star around the corner, I saw him yesterday. Golf Channel Morning Drive was here with Volk and Jeremy Stone at his side. SM6 still the best wedge out there.
It's awesome. We just had a record year in wedges. SM6 is such a cool product. I wish people knew even more. It's popular in the marketplace, but I wish they knew even more about just how good it is. The progressive CG thing is off the charts, and it does things. It helps you control flight, maybe in some ways you don't even recognize, and just dialing in the right flight for every particular shot and getting the CG in the right spot. It just feels really good. And then, of course, you got all his grinds. The grinds all come from the tour. They're outstanding. They've been refined over years. And then the whole groove thing's a big deal now.
Sure.
Grooves wear. And one of the things we want to try to make people realize, it's not for everybody, but you play 75 rounds with a wedge, you really ought to start paying attention to watch what happens. If you notice the ball's flying a little higher, the ball's rolling out a little bit more, what's happening is your grooves are wearing out, and they're not grabbing the ball the way they could or should. And the ball starts to roll up the face a little bit. When it rolls up the face, it goes a little higher in the air with a little less spin. It's going to go a little shorter. These are subtle things, but you start noticing 3, 4, 5 yards, and for certain players, that's a ton. So what we're trying to get folks to understand a little bit more this year is if you're playing a lot of golf, you really ought to take a look at your grooves and try some of the new stuff. Just go try some demo product. We've got it all over the country, and see if you notice a difference. If it is, you either got to change your game or you need to freshen up your product.
That's awesome. Good stuff with grooves. Let's go to irrelevant stuff. 5 questions, 50 seconds. We're going to put Pelly on the clock. Are you ready? Ready to go. First question, Steve Pelisek, number 1, your breakout player this year from Titleist.
Well, you already broke out. Justin Thomas.
Number 2, your number 1 place to play, and with who that you haven't done?
Little place in the north of Scotland. I'm a member at Royal Dornoch Golf Club. I think it's the greatest place on earth to play golf, and I'd love to play with my kids.
Question number 3, the newest stick you just put in your bag.
Scotty just made me a new putter. That new MB, that new Future MB is awesome. I love it.
Question number 4 for Pelisek. Chargers to L.A. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a sore subject. It's a bad thing. I think the toughest thing about that one is people don't realize just how many people in the community are connected with the team. It hurts.
Question number 5. You got to buy stock in one of these 2 players for the Masters, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas.
Oh, God. Can I buy the initial J and buy the mutual fund with both?
It's a public offering. Yeah, diversify. You got them both.
See, Justin's had a monster year. Jordan's going to have a monster year. And so is Jimmy. That's a tough one to pick. I'm not picking those. I think they're both going to have tremendous years. They're still rising. They haven't reached their potential yet. This is a process.
Absolutely.
They've been great players all their lives, and they ain't at the pinnacle yet.
That's awesome. Steve, thanks so much for the time. As always, hopefully we can do it again next year.
Thanks for all you do, guys.